All right, welcome back to TV5 News at 9, everyone. December is Career Awareness Month. Today we are talking about a local program about careers and sharpening our skills. And to tell us more about it, we have joining us this morning Jenny Gino from Saginaw Intermediate School District, Executive Director of Career and Technical Education. And then we also have Patrick Curry, President of Fullerton Tool Company, and Endurance Carbide is also another company that he works with. So thank you both for being here this morning. How are both of you?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Oh, doing great.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us today.
It is my pleasure, and of course, we're talking about a lot of ground, covering a lot of ground today. But first, I want to congratulate you, Jenny. You won Administrator of the Year at the Vision 2022 conference. Like, what an accomplishment.
Thank you very much. Very, very honored. But it's a community award, a lot of partners, and we're just really appreciative.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so let's start off with you just telling us a little bit about what CTE is and why it's important.
Sure. So career and technical education, especially today, because sometimes people think of vocational education from years past, it's rigorous training and preparation for students into high demand occupations. It's important because this is where workforce development begins. This is an opportunity to start training students at a younger age and have employers work hand in hand with education to cultivate the next generation of workers into these industries. So it's important for communities because, of course, employers are looking at where their talent pipeline is.
Right.
And so if you have a strong talent pipeline, then you're likely to have more opportunities.
Very good. And what does the manufacturing initiatives that are happening within high school in Saginaw County look like?
Yeah, so about 4 years ago, we were the beneficiary of some wonderful grant funds as part of the Marshall Plan for Talent grant initiative under former Governor Snyder. And those funds have enabled us to start local high school programs in manufacturing across our county. So 6 of our local high schools plus expand training at our Saginaw Career Complex. So at the Saginaw Career Complex, these students have the opportunities to explore all areas of manufacturing. And there's a lot of shifts that Patrick will be talking about in a little bit with, technologically. So we want to make sure that our students are prepared to go and work in our companies, bringing skill sets forward with credentials and certifications that align with those needs.
I like it. It's kind of giving them the jump start that they need and companies need too. I know, Patrick, we'll get to you in just a second, but I wanted to hear more about this new program. What is it?
So our prime programs, this is where the manufacturing expansion occurred as a result of those grant funds. So students have the opportunity starting in the 9th grade in our local high schools to explore manufacturing, get acquainted with what those occupational pathways are, work on machines and projects and things of that nature. And so this is a partnership, though, with our local manufacturers. They provide input in terms of what are those skill sets that are necessary and needed so that the training aligns with the things that they are seeing in their companies. And then when they go to the career complex, it's more in-depth. They get more in-depth training because now they can hone in. They've had a chance to explore and find out where those interests lie, and then do a deep dive into the things that excite them.
Yeah, I think that's great too, and maybe answer some of their questions that maybe they didn't know before. So Patrick, just tell us a little bit the employment opportunities, what that looks like in the manufacturing industry in our area.
Well, there's plenty of employment opportunities in this mid-Michigan region. You can't go by a factory today in this community and not see a help wanted sign. We're all looking for people, and there's twofold reason, right? Most of us are growing and moving in the right direction, so we're hiring for the growth. But we also have a ton of people retiring in high numbers every year. So in the next 3 to 5 years, so we need to replace that what I call the greatest American manufacturers of all time. That generation is leaving our workforce, and we need to replace them with new talent. So. And the technology today is very innovative, and we need that future talent to help our customers.
Totally. What would you say is a reason someone would get into the field, and maybe some misconceptions that you can debunk?
Well, I think a lot of the misconceptions would be people think the dirty, grimy manufacturing facilities of the years past, but today, I mean, you could eat off our shop floor. And we're making a very complicated products that's, like we make tooling that help make parts for your automobile, transmissions, engines. We're making tooling for the Department of Defense for helicopters, Apaches to, the Joint Strike Fighter. So it's exciting because you could be on a plane that you're flying the Dreamliner, and we made tooling for parts on that plane. So that's what we do. We're tool manufacturers, and it's exciting to be part of that. So for us, it's the craftsmanship, it's the pride in manufacturing that's so important to us, because we know that we might be flying that plane, we might be driving that car that we help manufacture.
All right, so Jenny, Patrick, I just wanted to ask you both too, why is something like these partnerships so important, especially to our community?
There's nothing better than when you have businesses working in partnership with education. It's mutually beneficial. Students feel connected to their communities, and employers connected to education, and they're actually helping with workforce training. But when we talk about retaining youth, they're more likely to stay in places where they feel like they have a personal connection. Right. And they're getting training from the experts. There's nothing better than that.
Absolutely. I always say hands-on learning is the best way to learn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'd add to that, it's just we do job shadows, so they get experience the local manufacturers in the community. And also we do tours for up to, even down to 3rd, 4th graders, which is always so much fun.
Right.
But just getting them exposed to those opportunities in the community, there's a ton of them. And it's just great to work with them, and then we get exposed to that future talent too. So it works both ways. We're excited to work with them and show them what the capabilities and opportunities are out there.
I love that you start kind of really early too, because I even recall as an elementary school student, like obviously you have ideas of the types of jobs that are out there, policeman, what have you. So I think this is great because you get to kind of explore some jobs you may have never even thought were out there.
Exactly.
Anything else you guys want to add?
I appreciate the partnerships. I think that is critically important to what we're doing. There's a lot of changing in the manufacturing industry with automation and a variety of other things going on. So we want to make sure our students are exposed to that and helping to connect the content that they're learning in their high schools with career and technical education, with employers, so it's beneficial all the way around. And that gives them a jump start on their careers, because then when they go into post-secondary, there's lots of things that they can bypass because they've learned it in high school. Those are articulation agreements, but also college credit that they can be earning towards getting these essential credentials that our employers need.
Yeah, it's like a win-win-win all around.
Yeah, and I think it's important because the manufacturers in the community, we need talent today. We need talent right now. We need talent in the future, and to be able to work with the great organizations we have in this community, it's an economic development. It's very important for economic development too, because we can't continue to grow. We can't bring more manufacturers in this community if we don't have this talent-based opportunities for these students at younger ages, going all the way up into college. We have a great program at Delta. We have an excellent program at SVSU for engineering program. And then all together, the FIRST Robotics. We have more FIRST Robotics programs, not just in our community, but in the state than any other state in the country.
Sweet.
We have more prime programs in the state of Michigan, and Mid-Michigan being the leader of that, because we have 7 in this area, including the ISD. So it's just incredible the amount of opportunities for these young people to explore and really connect with what the opportunities they have in the future.
Well, this has been a great conversation. Sorry, I almost cut you off. Did you have anything else?
I was just going to emphasize the fact that all of this is seamlessly connected. So from early grades to when they get into career and technical education to post-secondary, there's intentional programs of study all lined up. So it's a continuous learning stream right to our employers.
That's great. This has been such abundant and useful info. So thank you both for coming in this morning and sharing all of this.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. I appreciate you having us today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. Of course, if you want more information on all of this, you can just go to the hot links section on our website at WNEM.com.